Good afternoon and welcome to live coverage of Havant and Waterlooville versus Cheshunt from the Draper Tools Community Stadium. I'm Matt Drabble. Alongside me for this one is Adam Jukes, bringing you all the action as Havant and Waterlooville look to offset a recent slump which has seen the title slip out of the Hawks' grasp. My right, Matthews then waits to get us underway, back into midfield where the new boy Jeb sends it diagonally out to the left-hand side, headed away by Billy Cracknell, and well, Joe Newton can see it run out of play for Havant and Waterlooville throw on the left-hand side. Back to Newton, lifting it forward for the run of James Roberts. First chance for Jack Jebb to show what he can do from a dead ball scenario, something he made a name for himself with at Dartford last campaign. In-swinger from Jebb, flicked on with the heel of Paul Rooney, dropping towards the back of the net, but it's cleared away off the line. Back with Paul Rooney, who can volley it into the top left-hand corner, and Paul Rooney has the opener for Havant and Waterlooville, and a goal he certainly enjoyed. Rooney's third of the season, Adam, and he took it ever so well from inside the 18-yard box.
What a goal for Paul Rooney that was. You can't understate how hard a chance that was for Rooney. He was leaning back, he had it all to do, and gets his leg outstretched high up, nearly above his head, and he's a tall bloke, slots it into the top corner, and Adam Desbois had no chance. It was a fine finish from Paul Rooney, and what a way for the Hawks to go 1-0 up.
Newton in behind Ben Schroll, right hand side of the penalty area, driving down at the Hawks back line, squares it across goal, Sharman Lowe saves, back to Newton, tries to bundle it over the line, eventually is turned in by Fraser Alexander. The Hawks can never clear their lines from inside their own 18-yard box, and Fraser Alexander has Cheshunt's equaliser. First it was Newton from the right, he squared it across goal, Beckles-Richards was joining in, his shot was saved by Sharman Lowe, but fell back to Fraser Alexander, who turned in from close range, and it's Cheshunt 1, Havant and Waterlooville 1. Never really going to test the Cheshunt back line. Long forward where Q can try and bring it down. Flag stays down against Alfie Q. One-on-one with Sharman Lowe. In the end, he just rolls it past the post. It looked like the flag was going to come up against the number 9 there in the Cheshunt goal. His ball forward is a poor one, which Burnett can win the header. Newton to Burnett, gave the midfielder an awful lot to do, was fired into the feet of Ethan Burnett, and now Q will line one up from range and it drifts wide of the post. Newton, the picture of consistency last year and for large parts of this year, but doesn't look quite himself in this one, Adam.
No, I think that's credit to Terrell Newton. He's been really busy today.
As Paul Rooney gets there ahead of De Silva. Paul Rooney in behind after a long ball forward. Rooney squared to Sam Matthews to tuck it in. He skied the bar from the edge of the 6-yard box. They were queuing up to tap at home. Paul Rooney, Callum Keeley, Sam Matthews, all with a glorious chance to try and take the lead. And in the end, Paul Rooney tried to play the unselfish role, laid it across to Sam Matthews. You were just waiting for the net to bulge, but Matthews, who perhaps had the most awkward angle of all three of them, skies the bar from 7 yards. As we wait for that half-time whistle, Fraser Alexander towards Pip Blado. Big challenge from Miller Rodney, but it bounces fortuitously back to Beckles-Richards. Crossed in towards the back post it goes where Newton was waiting, and Joe Newton had to help it behind, and it almost bounced into the path of Terrell Newton, who surely would have converted from close range. Jebb heads down to Sam Matthews. Maybe now one side can string some passes together. Matthews looking into the channel, runs through to James Roberts. Now one-on-one with Mackenzie. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Roberts jinks inside, blocked in front of goal. Surely with an arm, runs back to Jack Jebb, saved by Desbois. But surely that first effort struck the outstretched arms of Taylor Mackenzie as Roberts cut in on his right boot. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Havant and Waterlooville 1, Cheshunt 1. Sharman Lowe gives it straight to Obiero. Obiero out to Beckles-Richards. Alarm bells ringing for the Hawks. Beckles-Richards cutting in on his right boot, setting it outside the post, trying to guide it into that far corner. Only missed by about a yard. That ball from Nemhard. They just need someone to take a risk. Schroll does. Looking for Roberts. Left wing. Flag stays down against James Roberts. Pulling wide into the left-hand channel. Still going Roberts against Bracknell. Laid off for Newton. Newton's first time cross towards Keeley. Brings it down in the spin. Sets himself. Blocked by Roldo. His Silver. Still alive for the Hawks inside the 6-yard box. Out of play. Hawks corner kick. With time ticking on in this game, at some point we'll need an injection of something different to try and break this deadlock. Schroll will look forward long for James Roberts, drops to Callum Keeley, 25 yards from goal, back out to James Roberts, cutting in on that right boot, McCarthy with him, McCarthy opens up his feet, trying to force room for a shot, McCarthy to strike, Desbois to save, Jake McCarthy not scored in some time for the Hawks, but just set himself there and got an eye on goal to try and curl it into the top left corner. Haven't Waterlooville, corner kick, right hand side, white shirts making their way up into the penalty area. Into the last 10 minutes we go. Still the score remains 1-1 between these two. Matthews, right channel, crossing left-footed towards Nemhard. His header across goal, and no one gambled to throw themselves at that second ball. Well, Nemhard headed it right across the face of goal, but it drifts behind. Fans almost stunned silent with nerves as we tick towards full time. Nemhard, another good ball to James Roberts. Nemhard finding his range now. James Roberts to Newton, first time cross into the crowd of bodies. Miller Rodney jumps, but it's wide of the post. Clip towards Sharman Lowe, comes to get there, grabs it the first attempt, drops it back in the area, but scoops it up and looks long for James Roberts. This time it does drop over Pip Lardo. Brilliant touch from James Roberts to bring it down on the right wing, running out of room, running out of options, but he's keeping the ball, and that's all the Hawks need right now. McCarthy out to Matthews, Newton joining in from left back. Sam Matthews into Joe Newton, chance to cross, deep in stoppage time. McCarthy waits, back across goal, cleared off the line, still loose in the penalty area, and then De Silva hooks clear. Matthews with the ball, left hand side, curled back towards McCarthy. Desbois catches, chance to cross from the right, has to go in the box, curled towards the edge of the 18-yard box, cleared away by De Silva, and that will do it for Havant and Waterlooville on home soil. It's 4 without a win for the playoff chasing Hawks now.